Hi, I'm Tori, and while sitting in class, have you ever noticed yourself looking around and feeling overwhelmed by the size of the classroom or how many people were in there? Because I definitely have. This speech is focusing on how smaller class sizes can benefit learning outcomes. This is relevant to you because this might affect how you choose your schedule going forward or might have you looking back and reflecting on past class experiences. I feel as though I am able to give this speech because I currently am a student and have had a chemistry class in the past with over 50 students in it, and I felt very overwhelmed. On the other hand, I have also had a class with only 11 people in it and have noticed that there's a very big difference in learning. I will also use the sources I've gathered to help back up my points. In this speech, I would like to talk about student engagement, motivation, attendance, and learning outcomes of smaller class sizes and why smaller class sizes have already been implemented but not implemented everywhere. I would now like to transition into talking about my first main point, student engagement and motivation. It is definitely way harder to be engaged in a conversation that has over 50 people in it versus a conversation that has 15 to 30 people in it. Wouldn't you agree? In my experience, students are going to be way more willing to answer the teacher's question if there are less people in the classroom because it doesn't feel as overwhelming, therefore stating that students will be less motivated in larger class sizes. According to Gary Hartfeld and Amy Tusini's study at the University of Hong Kong, students have had a stronger sense of belonging in a community of learners in the smaller class sizes and seem to have led to stronger engagement while learning. It is proven that smaller class sizes help student engagement and help students be more motivated. Teachers can be more devoted to an individual's needs in smaller class sizes and can help a student that has fallen behind way easier and help him catch back up if there are less students per one teacher. According to Charles from the school's Superintendents Association, students who start school in classes of 15 or less need less redemption later. Education problems are identified early, and once corrected, the student doesn't have to spend endless years in the special education spiral. He also states that students in smaller class sizes also show discipline improvements. I would like to now move on to my second main point, attendance and learning outcomes. You may feel more obligated to attend a smaller class size than a larger class size because in a smaller class there are less people and you're going to be noticed more. This can be beneficial because it will hold you accountable into attending class more and engage in learning. Smaller class sizes are going to produce overall better learning outcomes because both the student and teacher can be more engaged in classroom conversations. According to Gary and Amy's study at the University of Hong Kong, small class sizes have been found to be more conducive to better on-task behaviors from pupils, closer relations between students and teachers, increased participation, and better cooperation among students. I would now like to transition into my third and final point. Why aren't small class sizes implemented everywhere? The main issue with small class sizes is teacher availability and class space. There simply isn't enough qualified teachers available to teach only 15 people at a time. There also would be a ton more class size needed, like a ton more class space. The second issue is that it's costly to hire more teachers to teach more classes. It's cheaper to have one teacher teach 50 to 80 students than it is for 5 teachers to teach that same amount of students, but in smaller groups and in different rooms. Charles from the school's Superintendents Association states that although some critics say that the costs outweigh the benefits, it's hard to say given the smaller class sizes, since they're not widely used in the public education system. It's hard to tell the study behind them. Now for my conclusion, this speech was to inform you about how smaller class sizes can benefit learning and student engagement. In conclusion, smaller class sizes are the way to go, and if you get to pick between a large and small class, you should pick the smaller class because you will be surprised on how well it helps you engage and communicate more in the course.